Leaving this 100K plus job a year for 30 grand is not worth it at all.
In business, your biggest expense is labor. Think about this. I want you all to add this into the equation when you decide, would you take a $30,000 buyout from UPS and start your own cargo van business, or would you try to fight to stay with a job that's literally don't need you anymore? In this video, we're going to discuss, would you take a $30,000 buyout and start a cargo van business, or would you fight to stay employed at UPS? Let's begin.
If the company intends to violate our contract or makes any attempt to go after hard-fought Teamster jobs, the company is going to be in for one hell of a fight. This is what President Sean O'Brien from the Teamsters has recently said in a statement regarding the affairs of UPS. He also said if UPS wants to continue to downsize corporate management, the Teamsters will not stand in its way. Let me give you a little bit more context of what is actually going on right now. UPS employs about 490,000 employees across the entire world, and recently they just announced that they are wanting to cut 20,000 positions. Now, a lot of this is coming from a business relationship between Amazon and UPS and a recent decision to cut the volume of Amazon delivered by UPS by 50% by the end of 2026. Now, Brian Dykes, which is UPS's financial chief officer, said, "These actions will enable us to expand our US domestic operating margin and increase profitability." Now, I'm reading all of this on the news just like many of you can. But I will say at our building, it does seem like it's causing quite the skerfuffle.
Okay, so what many people don't understand is, especially like with this individual, there is a lot of things that's happening behind closed doors that many people are just not going to talk about. So what's happening in America is so many people have been trained, not educated, but they have been trained to trade their time for money. And so a lot of people don't know what to do because they have been trained this way since elementary school, middle school, high school, and then college. And so this has affected them once they get a job. And now they're, unfortunately, many people have become replaceable in this new job market. I have an individual who works for one of my customers. He works for a company. They're automating warehouses, so they don't need as many humans anymore, and this is going to be a huge shock factor to our economy and to the people. And this is the danger of being trained instead of being educated, because things happen. You're going to have the ups and downs of the economy, and you're going to have a lot of creative destruction. And as a man, you are going to have to be able to make moves. And like I said before in the previous video, you're going to have to save your money, so your money can not only save you, but save your cargo van business. And so again, for this community, we're going to talk about these types of things and how they're going to affect the economy. And when they affect the economy, could they affect you? Are you going to allow that to affect you? Because in this world, in this game, in this community, we are our own economy. And so people like this, they're going to have a harder time adapting into this new world, because people just aren't going to just come out and say, hey, this is what's happening, because the government don't want to panic the government don't want panic. So here we are. We're all watching a lot of these things unfold with this huge layoffs, and more of these things are going to continue to happen. And so this is why this is so important with the conversation that we started out with. Would you take a $30,000 buyout to start your own cargo van business, or would you fight to keep a job that is working really, really hard to get rid of you because they don't need you anymore?
UPS is offering us full-time drivers buyouts to bail. Get out of here. Here's some money. You can leave instead of firing everyone. Take that. It doesn't make any sense for most people, all right? If you've been here for like 0 to 12 to 15 years even, like, it doesn't make sense for you, because it's not going to be enough money to make it worth like what you would make for the rest of your career.
So this is my type of guy right here. He's like, hey, I'm going to get out here and I'm going to take the money, because he is someone who can go out here and take action. He can go out here and make his money work for him. But as you can see, he's talking about people that's been there for a long period of time. It's not worth it for them to not take that money. But unfortunately, if they don't take the money, now they won't have any money and they'll just be laid off, because again, people have become replaceable with a lot of these robots and this new technology in these warehouses. The warehouses are literally running themselves. So if you're not someone who could if you're not someone who is maintaining the technology, if you're not someone that's maintaining the technology, if you're not someone that is maintaining the equipment to make all of this stuff work, you as a human, you're just not that doesn't make you not valuable as a human. But in this new world, how things are automated and how technology has gotten so good, you're just not needed as much. So many people are going to have to adapt to this new world. So this is what I'm trying to get to you all in this community. You are going to have to boss up. You're going to have to get those skills to make you more valuable in the marketplace. So whether that's, starting your own cargo van business, or if you do have a cargo van business, for the people that's been in this game, you need to learn digital marketing, email marketing. You need to be building up your clientele list, because many things are going to continue to shake up. You may be in one of these markets where a lot of these layoffs are going to happen, and if you don't have any options and you don't have a pulse of the marketplace to see what's really going on, or if you can't adapt, you will be affected by this. So again, you gotta get out of that whole trading your time for money and start to think of getting paid by production. And there is no limit on that. You see what I'm saying? Once you have your own clientele list, there is no limit on that. And you don't want to get stuck like a lot of these people who are experiencing these massive, that's going through these massive layoffs across America. And it's not going to stop, because there is just so much stuff that's been going on behind closed doors that people really aren't talking about, that we're going to start to see. But the biggest thing that's going to affect so many people is the mentality that they have. And many people thinking that, hey, we're going to fight this out. There is no fighting when you have warehouses or ports being fully automated. Okay, and these people are getting paid very, very well to automate these places. So again, would you take the $30,000 buyout and start your own business? Or would you fight to trade your time for money?
What it is, what it do. As of right now, company just announced that they're going to be offering buyouts. They're going to be offering $3,000 per every 1 year of service, is what it says right now. For somebody on my level, that's like 30,000. Leaving this 100K plus job a year for 30 grand is not worth it at all.
Okay, he has an opportunity to get $30,000 in cash, and his complaint is he has a $100,000 job. So do you see the problem in that? If you have a $100,000 job and we're in this huge creative destruction, you have an opportunity to take $30,000, but you were so fixated and stuck on, well, I have a $100,000 job. No, you don't. So if you like really think about it, a man could take that $30,000 and turn that $30,000 into his own $100,000 a year company, to where he is now in control. This isn't, again, I am not dissing this individual. I'm not talking about people who may be watching this that is in this position, but you have to understand where we are as a country and where we are as men in this world. Things have changed, y'all. This whole being dependent on a job and you're getting $50, $80 to $100,000, many people are just not needed because the AI is so sophisticated. And then on top of that, you got AI, you got illegal immigration, you got feminism, you got all these people who are coming out of college, and now labor is cheaper. Okay, so here's another thing. In business, your biggest expense is labor. Think about this. I want you all to add this into the equation when you decide, would you take a $30,000 buyout from UPS and start your own cargo van business, or would you try to fight to stay with a job that's literally don't need you anymore? Okay, so the problem is what he isn't understanding, and this is the problem with many people. They have an employee mindset and they don't understand in business, on that paperwork, on that financial sheet, employees are listed as a liability. So he doesn't understand the dynamics of the relationship. He thinks since he's a good worker and he's working hard or he's loyal to the company, look, that's cool. But when it comes down to business, you are a liability. And not only are you a liability, you got to get out of your head and understand how America works and how business works and how the tax codes work. And the most important thing is UPS has a fiduciary duty to their shareholders. So again, he isn't seeing the whole picture of how all of this works. So this platform, this community, we're all about educating one another. And I think so many people out here, they're so fixated on maintaining loyalty to a company or whatever that may be, and they not understanding the politics of the world today, the economy of the world today, and the future of all of these things, and how these decisions that you make could affect your community that you live in, your local economy that you live in, and most importantly, if you have a family. Things are about to change in a major way, and we have to break the thinking of the only way you could make money is trading your time for money, or if you are a good person, you're going to get rewarded. A quick story here. I used to work up north, and I was in the oil and gas industry, and I'll never forget this guy. His name was Mr. Eddie, one of the hardest working guys up there. And he was one of those guys, I don't know how to name it, but I heard what this is from someone about a few weeks ago. But he was one of those guys who worked really hard. He was very knowledgeable, and he wanted the company to appreciate him. He wanted them to come to him and let them know how much they appreciated him, and they were going to give him all of these promotions and stuff. And I think like after a year or two, I was making more money than this guy. Because you want to know why? I did my competencies. I did my paperwork. I was taking the tests and stuff. But he was smarter than everyone there. But his mentality had him stuck. But he wasn't adapting into the environment around him because he had this old school mentality when he was working with other guys who knew the system and knew that, okay, there's a plan, there's a roadmap for individuals that want to make a certain amount of money. Okay, he never took that because he was so stuck in being smart. He was so stuck in wanting to be liked, wanting to be accepted. I'm about my business. Okay, you all need to be the same way, and this is what I'm seeing so much in America. With all these layoffs and stuff, when people are so shocked and they don't understand, this is the real world, and the real world is no joke. So again, we have to change the narrative, and this is why this community is so important. And we're here networking, talking about business, learning from my mistakes, your mistakes, and learning from different perspectives, and opening up your mind and asking each other questions, because all of these things are important, because your future is going to be dependent on the mentality that you have. Your future is going to be dependent on the skills that you acquire. You need to learn AI. You need to learn digital marketing. You need to learn how to deal with customers. You need to learn all of these things are in the future, because it's one of the great presidents that America once said to us all: ask not what you can do. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Everything is on you, gentlemen. And this is why all of this is so important. Everyone coming together and talking and comparing notes. And we got to do better. Another thing that I want to add is, it's so sad that I see that so many men out here, they've forgotten what it is to be a man. A lot of these people, like I hear them talk about the Teamsters, or, you know, we have a union and all these different types of things. Guys, what you have to understand is, if you're paying a union, at the end of the day, that union is an organization, and that organization's best interest is their best interest, not yours. They tell you that, but at the end of the day, their best interest is their best interest. Okay, so things have shaken up. All right, so and here's another thing that I want to ask you all: are there going to be bigger opportunities out there in the future for people that already is in the cargo van business? Because think about it, when you work for a lot of these companies, and we've already said that your biggest expense in business is labor. So if you got companies like UPS laying all these people off, or they're going to go the independent contractor route. So I think there's something really, really big coming up, a lot of big opportunities out there if you are positioning yourself. Because I know in my market, they have we have FedEx here as well, but it's not FedEx official drivers. They have contractors that buy routes, or they have like routes or whatever, and they make the delivery. So I don't know if that's what UPS they're going to do in the future, and that's going to save them billions of dollars, because they don't have to pay labor, they don't have to pay medical, they don't have to pay pensions and all of this stuff now. So again, the world has changed, and this is why this community is so important. You're going to have to be in tune with what's really going on out here in the streets. Nobody's going to tell you. You have to take action as a man, because like I said before, nobody is coming to save you. You need to boss up, or you are going to get priced out in America. That's just what it is. Many people don't want to accept this. Nobody's going to come up and hold your hand and tell you, hey man, this is what you need to do, yada, 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 yada. You would just get priced out, because as you can see, rent's going up, the cost of living, food, everything is going up. But what will help you with that is you making more money. You need to learn skills to bring in more income. And if you still have a job right now, that is okay. But right now you have an income that's coming in, but you need to be thinking, how can I increase my value? Okay, because things aren't going to go down. Here's another tip how this game works. Once prices go up, they never come down. That's going to be the new normal. So we got to figure this out and move forward, because if you do not, if you want to stay fixated on trading your time for money, you will get priced out of America. You will be a part of the forgotten class, and that's it. So safe travels out there on the roads, fellas. I will see you all on the next one.